Why am I stopping carnivore diet for 8 days?
I'm fighting stage 4 cancer. When doctors told me I was inoperable, incurable, and only had months to live, my world shattered.
Jeff was hopeless when he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and he wanted to have a plan.
If you know anyone touched by cancer, please share this and help us reach 1 million signatures so our voices can be heard.
You have to take it into your own 2 hands and you have to make a plan. It's the cause of chronic inflammation that leads to disease, and if you do it long enough, you can end up with cancer or other diseases, heart diseases and things like that. Beep. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet. I just hit day 246 of eating meat, animal products on the carnivore diet. It's changed my life forever. I'm stopping carnivore for at least 8 days. We're going to talk about that in today's video. If you're not familiar with me, I'll recap my story quick. I'm 100 pounds lighter now than I was at my heaviest. I was a mess before this. I truly believe carnivore saved my life. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I had clinical and suicidal depression for 10 to 15 years. I had sleep apnea. I was gasping for air throughout the night. For years and years, I had to have a CPAP machine on. I had IBS, I had arthritis, I had pain in my foot so bad from gout, which turns out it wasn't gout. All of that is gone on carnivore. My mood is improved and I'm 100% energized, and I feel like I know why. I did keto years ago. In fact, I did a video. Someone's giving me a hard time on the video saying, oh, you said you had all this success on keto. Keto was the only thing that ever helped me with my depression. However, I was still suicidally depressed on keto. Why? Because I couldn't maintain keto. I did keto for years, 10 or 15 years, yo-yoing up and down, up and down. Why? Because I still had sugar. And sugar is an addictive drug that we've normalized. You consume sugar, it lights up in your brain on an MRI just like cocaine would. It's more addictive than nicotine, and in my opinion is more damaging, but it just gets a complete pass. It's the cause of chronic inflammation that leads to disease, and if you do it long enough, you can end up with cancer or other diseases, heart diseases and things like that. I think 20, 30 years from now, we're gonna look back and be like, my goodness, what were we doing giving that to our kids? As my friend Todd Bachnes said, so many people out in the world right now, they have standard American brain fog. They don't realize what they're doing or how foolish some of the things they're doing are, and it's just insane to me. Why am I stopping carnivore diet for 8 days? I believe I am so successful on carnivore, and so many other people are. Both of my sisters are carnivores now. My mom, my stepdad's carnivore. She just sent me a picture of my stepdad. He looks amazing. Lost a whole bunch of weight. My mom too. My daughters are doing carnivore. Everyone I know that does carnivore has success. I don't see that for anything else. I see people having some success with keto, but they can't maintain it because they still end up moderating with the sugar and the junk and all of the other stuff. Why is carnivore so successful? Because it's our proper human diet. The name of the documentary I'm working on, if you're interested in learning more, please visit the website. The link's in the description below. Healing Humanity, the Power of the Proper Human Diet. This is so natural. Eating this way, I don't have to think about it. That's why I get so fired up and frustrated when I see the world with their standard American brain fog and their aches and pains and their guts hanging out and their arthritis and all their issues. This proper human diet is so easy. Yes, it's hard to go from the standard American diet to the proper human diet. Like for a week or two, it's hard. For 246 days, it's been a breeze. I don't have to think about it. And why is that? As Dr. Anthony Chaffee says, every species of animal has its intended diet. And every species of animal sticks 99.9% to its intended diet, except for us big brain humans. You go into a grocery store, there's 46,000 products, but it's not food. People are filling up their carts with waste. Waste in, waste out. It's causing inflammation, and I'm labeling it as sugar drunks. Everyone in this world, as Thanksgiving's coming up, we're gonna have a bunch of sugar drunks over at the house. They're drunk on sugar, they have brain fog, and they're not making proper decisions, and they don't know what it's like to be 100% human, to fulfill their human potential like I'm doing right now. I believe carnivore is the proper human diet that we've eaten since the start of time, and I believe that's why it's so easy. I believe that's why so many people have so much success on it. It's just natural and it's proper. Why am I stopping carnivore then for 8 days? I'm doing it in solidarity with my friend Jeff DeProsperous, who has stage 4 cancer.
I'm Jeff. I'm fighting stage 4 cancer. When doctors told me I was inoperable, incurable, and only had months to live, my world shattered.
I had so many aches and pains and ailments and issues and depression and sleep issues that carnivore has completely cured. I was on 20 pills at one time. I'm on 0 right now. Had I continued doing that, I could have ended up with the same cancer Jeff had. I don't know if I've mentioned this very much. I had cancer before. Nothing as serious as Jeff's, but I had, I guess, one of the more serious types of skin cancer. There's basal cell, there's squamous cell. Well, I had squamous cell cancer on my ear. This was about 10 years ago, and I had it removed. And what I have since learned from Jeff and Professor Seafried and so many others is that cancer is most often caused by chronic inflammation. You get damage to the mitochondria and that leads to cancer, but most of it is from chronic inflammation. Yes, you can get that from smoking. Yes, there could be a little bit of a genetic component to it, but we're spending billions and billions of dollars on cancer, and what's happening? Why isn't it gone? Why haven't we even put a dent in it? Why are 1,600 people per day dying from cancer? Because we're not treating the root cause of the problem. It's that simple. Just like when I had depression for 10 years and I would go in and they'd hand me a pill and another pill and they'd up the dosage and they'd change the dosage, it never worked after 10 to 15 years. Why didn't it work? Because they weren't treating the root cause of the problem. The root cause of most cancers is, if I really simplify it, humans have escaped from natural, what is natural and proper for humans. Humans used to eat proper foods, mostly meat. They would hunt, they would kill a big animal, and they would feast on it, and they would probably fast for a couple days. Maybe in the summertime they'd eat a little bit of berries here or there, but they mostly ate meat. That's the proper diet. What are humans doing now? 46,000 products in the grocery store, and there's maybe 5 that are real food, the stuff that I eat, meat and eggs. They're eating all of that other waste and they're putting it in their body. They're getting inflammation, they're eating seed oils and food dyes, and the sugar is one of the worst ones. And it all gets a complete pass. And they're all suffering and they're all sickness. And heart disease is through the roof. Why is this? Shouldn't we question this? Strokes are through the roof. I just saw a report, blew my mind. It was from some insurance adjuster company. And they were saying the expected deaths, the rate of expected deaths right now in 2023 is up 25%. Now, in the last couple of years, they said that was from the pandemic. And that would make sense. But now it's not making sense anymore. And this should be huge, and this should be in the news, and it's not. You guys can do your own research on this. The expected deaths are up 25%. Think about that. 25% more than what they were in the past. And when you look at the causes, it's heart disease, it's strokes, it's all sorts of issues. These aren't from the pandemic still. We should be questioning, wow, what's going on out there. That's a whole other story. Why am I stopping carnivore for 8 days? I'm doing it in solidarity with my friend Jeff. He has stage 4 cancer. He was told your cancer is inoperable, incurable, and you have months left to live. He's outlived that prognosis by like a year at this point. And he's not only outliving it, he is living. He is thriving. I just went and visited him for our documentary, Healing Humanity, along with my friend Adam from Carnivore Today, and we filmed him and his family for a week, and it was incredible. You never would know that the guy has stage 4 cancer or that just days earlier he was getting chemo treatment. He has so much energy. One of the biggest things I learned from Jeff is he is living. He is living. There are, 8 billion humans on Earth? How many of them are truly living? Almost none, if you really think about it. They have that, they're sugar drunks. They have the brain fog. They're thinking about the future, hoping they win the lottery, or they're reminiscing about memories of the past, but they're not living in the moment like my friend Jeff is. And I was able to live in the moment and learn from Jeff those couple days we were there filming him, and it was incredible. He is truly living, thriving as a carnivore, which is just amazing. And part of his regimen is fasting. And Jeff and I did a video with Professor Seafried where I learned more about this metabolic therapy. And I'm angry. Jeff is angry. And since this time, I've talked to so many other folks that were diagnosed with cancer, and they all had the same story. I got cancer, and they said, here's chemo, go away. That's it. They don't give them any other options. Jeff was hopeless when he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and he wanted to have a plan, and he wanted to take his life into his own hands and do whatever possible he could. He wanted to increase the tools in his toolbox besides just chemo. He was given none of those options until he found, through his good friend Dwight Garlow, Professor Seifried, and some of these other YouTubers like Dr. Chafee and Dr. Baker, Dr. Berg, and he started learning about fasting. And he started learning about metabolic therapy, and he started learning that cancer thrives on sugar. Thrives on sugar. And he was pissed off when he went in for chemo, and he's done with chemo, and they're coming around and passing out cookies. How backwards are things? You really have to question things when you go in for chemo and they're giving you cookies and sugar afterwards. He said it's like, we did this little video together. I'm going to show you guys a clip from it. It's like I'm a burn victim. I'm going in, I'm begging for help, and they're putting me in a bath of warm water. It's insane, and it's completely backwards. Jeff has a big scan coming up. So he decided he's going to fast for 8 days on the advice of doctors. He's done multiple 5-day fasts. So in solidarity with my friend Jeff, I'm doing this too. But I'm not doing this to get a big pat on the back. Jeff did a 5-day fast a couple weeks ago. I did it alongside him. I said, I'm going to do it the same days you are. We can support each other. If that'll help you out at all, that's great. I'm doing this because I'm selfish too. There are all sorts of benefits to fasting. There's a stigma around fasting. When I did it last time, people were like, oh, you're so skinny, you're going to lose weight. You don't need to lose more weight. I don't do carnivore to lose weight. I'm not fasting to lose weight. I'm fasting now because I believe this is what humans would have done from the start of time. I'm doing carnivore, so I'm very close to what humans would have done from the start of time. But back in the day, humans would have killed a big animal, feasted, and then they probably would have fasted for a week till they found another big animal. They wouldn't have had bacon and eggs for breakfast every morning like I do, and a ribeye or steak or patties every single afternoon like I do. So I'm trying to get a little closer to what I did before. The other reason I'm doing it is because you get autophagy and you get mitophagy, which are incredible for the human body. It's a great reset. The other reason I'm doing it is because I just want to. The other reason I'm doing it is because when I did that last 5-day fast with Jeff a couple weeks ago, on day 5, I felt incredible. I felt like enlightened. I felt like this zen over my whole body. It was amazing. I wanted to continue and go longer. And so now I'm going to go longer. I'm going to go 8 days with Jeff, and I'm going to see how it goes. If I get sick or feel weird or my body's tapping out at any point, I'm going to not be stupid about it. I'm going to tap out. But I'm doing this for Jeff, and I'm doing this for people with cancer that are diagnosed with cancer and they're told there's only chemo. I want to tell these people that is not your only option. I'm not telling you what to do. If you get cancer, that's your life and that's your decision. And if you want to do chemo and they're telling you to do chemo, you do what you want to do. I'm not saying to do anything different. I am simply saying it's a tragedy that you're not told about these other tools in your toolbox, these other options like metabolic therapy, fasting, and ketosis, and starving the cancer of sugar. You're told to go eat cookies. It's insane. So Jeff is fired up about this, and I'm fired up about this. And we talked to Professor Seifried. We're like, how can we change this? If someone, 1,600 people a day are dying of cancer, how many more are diagnosed every single day? And they're hopeless. They don't have a plan, and they don't have these options. Jeff currently has 11 options in his regimen, all of which he came up with: fasting, carnivore diet, cold therapy, meditation, exercise. We have the whole list. And I said to Professor Seifried and Jeff, I'm like, how can we change this? If one of my loved ones is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer like Jeff is right now, I don't want them to be told chemo is your only option, now go away. I also want them to know what caused it. Jeff says, he looked right in the camera and said, I believe I caused my cancer. Chronic inflammation and stress, believes he causes cancer. If I try to simplify people getting cancer, I think it's an escape from natural. We're so far from what humans naturally do. Mainly the foods we eat, but also the toxins and everything else that we're consuming. But also, humans used to get outside and exercise, and they used to get sunshine. Now we're inside buildings looking at screens all day long. We're departing so far away from what's natural, and as we depart further and further away from what's natural and what's proper for a human, we're getting sicker and sicker. And we're going in for the most amazing healthcare ever, and they don't treat the root cause of the problem. I had sleep apnea. They gave me a CPAP machine, and they gave me medicine to help me sleep at night. The root cause of the problem was inflammation from eating sugar. It was that simple. I stopped eating sugar. I went on carnivore diet. My inflammation went away. I stopped snoring almost immediately. So many other people have said the same thing. Cancer, most cancers, if you're out there and you're worried about so many people are worried about carnivore, it just makes me laugh. And I feel sorry for them. Oh, what about your cholesterol? What about fruit? What about fiber? All of these things have been asked and answered. What about chronic inflammation leading to cancer? What about look around in the world? Everyone's fat and everyone's getting heart attacks and everyone's having strokes. You should be worried about that. That is from chronic inflammation. That's not from eating meat. Meat's been demonized. People aren't eating meat. I'm eating meat. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I could get up and run a marathon. People that are scared of carnivore, you should be scared of whatever got you to the point that you're considering carnivore. And that's the standard American diet with the standard American brain fog and the sugar and the processed foods and all the garbage you're putting into your body that's been normalized and you feel like you have to do it. So I started this on Sunday night. It's Tuesday morning. I'm on day 2. I slept so good last night. I feel incredible. And I challenged Jeff to get out every morning and to ground. Mainly I wanted him to get out every morning and get sunshine in his eyes because that can reset your circadian rhythm. And I noticed my sleep is so much better when I do that. And again, it's natural. It's proper. That's what humans would have done back in the day. They wouldn't have just sat in a dark structure all day without any proper sunlight. So Jeff's been doing that. He's been doing shorts. Jeff's channel is Blessings on My Journey. So Jeff and I created this Cancer Action Plan page. Please help us. Get the word out about this. I will leave a link in the description below. It is on our website, Healing Humanity. Link in the description below. You can click on this. This is a simple link you can send someone if they're diagnosed with cancer. And we're not telling people what to do. We're just saying, here's some additional tools that worked for Jeff and all of these other people. We have an action plan. The biggest thing I've learned from interviewing so many people diagnosed with cancer is you have to take it into your own 2 hands and you have to make a plan. You have to make a plan. And they don't give you a plan. They say chemo and go eat your cookies and get out of here. You have to make a plan. You have to study your specific type of cancer that you have. And then you have to get a regimen and you have to fight and you have to work. Jeff is a fighter. He's a warrior. He's an ultimate competitor. And he's going up against the biggest competition of his entire life, cancer, and he's thriving right now, and it's incredible. And we want to share that with other people. So we have the Cancer Action Plan on there. We have Jeff's regimen, exactly what Jeff is doing. We have videos from other thrivers from this excellent documentary. It's called cancerevolution.film. There's links for this on there. We have links to Professor Seyfried's work and interviews with Seyfried and Chafee and other people so that you can understand about metabolic therapy and you can decide if it's right for you, if it's something you want to try. Most of all, we're trying to get 1 million signatures. If you believe that if you're diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, like Jeff, and you're told your cancer is inoperable, it's incurable, and you have months left to live, if you want to be in that position and you want to have more tools in your toolbox, besides just the standard care and just chemo, please sign our petition and please share it. We're trying to get 1 million signatures.
They pushed conventional treatment as the only path until I found metabolic therapy and created my own regimen. Learning about Professor Seyfried's groundbreaking work changed everything. I learned you have to question everything. Imagine my hopelessness when after chemo, they handed out cookies, knowing full well cancer thrives on sugar. It was as if I was drowning and my trusted rescuers tossed me an anchor. Cancer doesn't have to mean hopelessness. Discovering metabolic therapy as an additional tool in my regimen revealed the power of a natural, proper human diet. It gave me strength. Chemo became more bearable. I've outlived my prognosis, my quality of life has drastically improved, and many others thriving on metabolic therapy also. Our goal is humanity. Our goal is to ensure every cancer patient is presented all the options and all the tools. This declaration is the first step. Too often, only the profitable treatments are offered. My story and the story of many others thriving on metabolic therapy are more than anecdotes. They are proof of what's possible. If you believe in a full spectrum of options for cancer treatment, not just the profitable ones, then stand with me. Sign the declaration, raise your voice, and demand that humanity returns to cancer care. Together, we can bring hope choice, and life to everyone in this battle. The link to our declaration is below, along with our cancer action plan, including metabolic therapy resources, videos, regimens, and more. If you know anyone touched by cancer, please share this and help us reach 1 million signatures so our voices can be heard.
The only way this is ever going to change is you and me, the little guys, speaking up. You want these institutions and hospitals and schools to enact this and start talking about metabolic therapy? They're never going to do it. There's not a dime to be made in it, and they're never going to do it. The only option you're going to get if you get stage 4 cancer now just coincidentally happens to be the one that makes them the most money. They're businesses. They can't afford to go after free things like metabolic therapy and fasting. This is only going to change if you sign our petition and you share their petition. So please check out the page. The link is in the description below. Do this for Jeff. Please click the link in the description below. Sign the petition and share it with us. We need to get 1 million signatures. It's never going to happen unless you guys share it. There's some really inspiring comments on there. A gentleman left a video and he was basically begging. He lost so many loved ones to cancer and he wished that this was an option for him. It's not going to be an option for him or for you or your loved ones unless we take this into our own hands and we get the word out.